Up next, take a ride in some of the most scenic and rustic country the West has to offer. Utah is famous for its beauty and its presence on the silver screen. We'll follow in the footsteps of cowboy legend John Wayne as the American Quarter Horse Association's ride program hits the trail outside of Moab, Utah. Plus, we'll tie up at the Sorrel River Ranch, a world-class resort. It's all about rest and relaxation next on America's Horse.
America's Horse, the international report on the world's most versatile equine breed, the American Quarter Horse.
Hi, I'm Jeff Metters. Welcome to America's Horse. Hitting the trail with the American Quarter Horse is especially enjoyable when you have beautiful surroundings. And that might be an understatement when it comes to the canyonlands of southeastern Utah. Come along as we ride through this beautiful but rugged country. It's all part of the AQHA's ride program. Moab, Utah is a popular tourist destination, world famous for its adventure vacations and history on the silver screen. Towering formations carved by nature are at every turn. Jutting terracotta sandstone mesas, buttes, and spires in vivid contrast with the bright blue sky. It's a landscape synonymous for the American West and the inspiration for thousands of filmmakers.
One of the things that really takes people by surprise is the scenery. And a lot of times as we're riding around, they say, "Oh, I've seen that in a movie."
Chances are they probably have. From the ultimate classic Western Stagecoach to Rio Grande and the Comancheros, the Duke himself starred in 7 movies filmed right here.
There's also down at the Red Cliff Ranch. He did some shoots down there. He also stayed down there. There's a cabin, it's called the John Wayne Cabin. So that his influences throughout this whole area here. You can't help not rubbing elbows with what he's touched, walked, or ridden on.
The backdrop for countless commercials, movies, and print ads, the terrain in this area is a geological wonderland.
Well, I think it's why so many movies were filmed here in Utah, because there's scenery like no other anywhere in the world. I think it's very unique.
Castle Valley, they did some Chevy commercials up there, which was pretty fun, and I think Bon Jovi was up there, somewhere around there, on Priest and Two Nuns, I think, yeah.
The views are spectacular, the changes of scenery as the sun comes up and goes down, the red rock, the cliffs, everything changes with every 10 minutes, it's a different scene.
It's the most beautiful setting, and the moon is up during the day, and you can see forever out here.
I think the topography itself, it's just spectacular as you drive through and you see the mesas and the different rock formations and the way it was curved out. We actually traveled. Barry Stone came with me yesterday, and so we went through Monument Valley and did all the John Ford things there, and it's just an absolutely fascinating and a wonderful part of the world, I think.
Lying on the banks of the Colorado River is a place where you can experience this for yourself. A scenic 17-mile drive from Moab.
The movie history on the ranch is very reminiscent of the Old West, and of course everybody looks at these buttes behind us and these monuments, and they think of the old John Wayne movies that were made here, the first one being Rio Grande in 1950, when John Ford came out and did his first John Wayne movie in the Utah area. And of course, the dream of all these people is to be riding their horses on this movie set.
The Sorrel River Ranch and the Utah Quarter Horse Association are proud to host a trail ride through some of this spectacular scenery, and the city of Moab is happy to oblige.
Oh, it's an incredible honor and a great experience, and we're thrilled to have it here in the Moab area. And we're just so pleased that it had such a great turnout. So that's just absolutely wonderful. Yeah.
Here? Oh my God, this is God's country. There's no place in the world like this. All my life I've wanted to go to Moab. I've been to every national park, but I've never been here before. And this is the most spectacular view I've ever been in.
America's Horse is brought to you by the American Quarter Horse Journal, the official publication of the American Quarter Horse Association. By the Bayer Corporation, makers of quality animal health products. By MBNA America, the official credit card of AQHA. And by the American Quarter Horse Association. Let freedom ride.
It's a made-to-order day, and riders prepare to hit the trail. Trail riding is such a great family activity. This is one trip the Martins from Lehi, Utah make sure to schedule every year.
I've been on them for the past about 3 years. It's gorgeous out here. I mean, it's just fun to get out and do something outside of the show pen.
It's a whole different climate of people also. Between your show horse people, these are people that just enjoy the outdoors, and they come out here and we go along. You'll be able to be along the Colorado River and see, you know, the beautiful mountains, and it's just so refreshing.
The air is absolutely crystal clear clean down here. It's quiet. We're far away from the city life that, you know, I don't know if you've noticed, but I haven't heard a phone ring all morning.
He's right. There's barely even a breeze on this day. Just the sounds of nature, the swish of a horse's tail, and ride participants quietly tacking up. It's music to Hal Hardin's ears as he anticipates the ride.
I probably lost about 85% of my eyesight. I still have some peripheral vision, but what's the old saying? Nothing so good for the inside of a man as the outside of a horse, or something like that.
We're going to be riding on a really neat ranch. It's a 900-acre ranch. We're going to an old movie set.
Ride hostess Hope Carlton-Levin will be leading the way. Even though the scenery is in her backyard, it's still awe-inspiring.
It's perfect because you've got the river, you've got these beautiful western red rock bluffs, and you're out there on a pretty horse, and I mean, really, there's not too much that's better than that if you combine it all.
The 60 riders agree, heading deeper into area known as Professor Valley. The surroundings are nothing short of breathtaking. You can really lose yourself here, and for John Wayne fans, it's especially hallowed ground.
Just trotting all around through the canyons, and so that really makes it quite nice. Great backdrops and beautiful scenery, wide open space. I think I saw John Wayne just down around the corner there somewhere, wasn't he?
I've actually been to Moab before, but first time to be on the ride and in this canyon. It's a great place, a lot of history here. I'm a big John Wayne fan, so feel like I'm riding out through here just waiting to be discovered.
A trip into a very old corral took riders back in time.
This old corral was built. It's been primarily used as a movie set. Geronimo, City Slickers, when they did the calf roping and all that stuff, they did a lot of that here. Also, they do a lot of Marlboro commercials and film those right here in this location.
Adding to the experience, lunch was served on a genuine Western movie set. AQHA's Executive Vice President Bill Brewer says this event is a perfect example of what the ride program is all about.
Well, I think one of the things, the original concept of the ride was, there's a lot of facts that went into the ride, But one of the things was just this, to get people out, to get them to enjoy their horses and to put them in a scenic environment so they could just have fun and do what it is that we do, ride horses.
I've got a corral full of horses. I invited several people along so that all of my horses could come and have fun with me. And I go all over the desert with them here. I like to go up in the La Salle Mountains nearby. It's the perfect way to travel.
Out on the trail with nothing but fresh, clean air, the sounds of horses making their way through desert brush, and the creak of leather saddles, many discovered new things.
This is just awesome. It's just beautiful. You've got, riding by the river and the mountains and going up and down and the different scenery. I mean, it looks like it's just all dirt and rocks, but you get up in there and you just see so much. The desert is just full of life. It's beautiful.
Well, the neat thing is you get to see all the different animals because they're just so beautiful, and it's just right in a row in a beautiful setting. So it's out in nature. It's great.
It's back to the ranch. Riders are exhilarated after their first day and looking forward to a peaceful evening at the only resort located on the Colorado River. These riders are hanging up their hats at the Sorrel River Ranch. We'll take you on a tour of this luxury resort in just a few moments. But first, here's a way to find out how you can enjoy a stay at a dude ranch. Before you pack your bags, be sure to visit duderanch.org. America's Horse will be right back. Welcome back to America's Horse. Participants in AQHA's trail ride near Moab, Utah are based at the Sorrel River Ranch Resort. On one side, the banks of the Colorado River, and on the other, a very famous view. Imagine seeing this out of your window every day. It's a reality for guests at the Sorrel River Ranch, and an everyday treat for Hope and Robbie Levin. This property was a blank slate when they drove by in 1994, but the Levins had a vision.
And we looked for property, ranch property, for about a year until we ran across this piece of property. And when we drove through that gate, it swung open, went kink, kink, and fell off the hinges. And I said, oh, this is it, and there were broken down trucks and cars and barbed wire fences everywhere. And we knew.
There wasn't much here when we purchased the ranch. We just had the little ranch buildings that are down on the east end of the ranch, and the fields weren't here, the roads weren't here. They had about 40 acres of grass that was flood irrigated, and there were cows grazing on it. But the actual idea when we purchased the ranch was to do this project. So by early '95, we actually had our approvals in place.
The couple traded in their fast-paced careers in entertainment for life on the ranch. Robbie was a rock musician and a clothing manufacturer. Hope was an actress and a model. Leaving city life to follow their dreams, they developed this land together. And in 2000, the Sorrel River Ranch was open for business.
My husband is an incredible visionary, and with his vision and his premonition of what he could do with the property, we were able to develop it into what it is today.
It is today a 240-acre working ranch, complete with riverbank accommodations. It's part bed and breakfast, part luxury dude ranch, with the most incredible views the Southwest has to offer. Alfresco dining is available right on the grounds at the River Grill restaurant, one of the best in the area. Do as little as you want on the 6,000 square foot sun deck, or there's rafting, fishing, rock climbing, and hiking. But for American quarter horse enthusiasts, the best part is riding.
Everything is laid out right around the riding area and the horse facility, because that is what this property was meant to do in my mind. And the resort has happened as an afterthought and kind of developed into its own thing.
Horse facilities include a barn, round pen, arena, hot walker, and loafing sheds. There is ample pasture land to ride in, or you can bring your own horse. The Levins roll out the welcome mat to all their guests, human and equine alike.
We got the farm set up, we got the field set up, we got the equestrian center set up. In fact, the barn behind me is the first building that we built. So the horses got a home before we got a home, which shows where our priorities are.
Their love for the American Quarter Horse breed definitely shines throughout the property. The tranquility, comfort, and western elegance of the Sorrel River Ranch makes it the perfect venue for AQHA's ride program.
Actually, Hope and Robbie are good, long-standing friends of mine, so I've seen the ranch evolve, and it's definitely been an amazing, it's an amazing place, it's an amazing project, and this ride has been great. They did a great job with it.
It has been a great match for Hope has background with the ranch and with the American Quarter Horse Association, and they've been very supportive, and we couldn't have asked for a more willing host and hostess to have this kind of an event, so it's been a great deal for all of us.
That's the thing about owning a piece of property like this, is being able to give something back. And for people that own horses, well, it's just ideal. I mean, you can come and camp out right in the alfalfa fields with your horses and ride all day and have the pool and have a great barbecue. And I mean, it's ideal. I mean, every ride should be like this. Not every ride can, but we're so lucky to have this facility to be able to facilitate a program like this, that it's awesome.
For more information, you can call the Sorrel River Ranch toll-free at 877-359-2715 or visit them online at sorrelriverranch.com. Stay tuned. We'll be back with more America's Horse in just a moment.
America's Horse is brought to you by MBNA America, the official credit card of AQHA. By Sooner Trailers, the official trailer of AQHA. By the Bayer Corporation, makers of quality animal health products. And by Wrangler, the official jeans and shirts of AQHA.
Welcome back to America's Horse. The great thing about trail riding is the peace and serenity. No competition here, no pressure. It's just all about enjoying your American Quarter Horse. And with that in mind, let's head back to scenic southeastern Utah and get back to the trail. Another picture-perfect day. The riders head out from the Sorrel River Ranch in the opposite direction to experience more Canyonland panorama. Chase Black from Colville, Utah, tells us what's on today's itinerary.
You ride your horse up up on the trail, and you go up a bunch of hills and down hills, and you cross rivers.
Day 2 of AQHA's ride program event here in Utah offered participants an up-close view of the Colorado River.
Oh, down here by the river is great. Once you get off the road, just kind of go through these arroyos and the little dips and rises. It's wonderful in here.
The horses went off the ranch and paralleled the river, so they were riding next to the river, went down about a mile on the river, and then cut across the highway over into Ida Gulch, which is the area that there's probably been 30 or 40 feature films, mostly westerns, made in Ida Gulch. And they actually rode right where John Wayne rode in Rio Grande, and a couple other movies that he did here. They shot the Comancheros here, and there's been several movies made right up that wash.
Not only beneficial to horse and rider, the proceeds from AQHA's ride program go to local charities. For the Utah Ride event, it's the equestrian program at the National Ability Center.
We actually teach equestrian skills to people of all ages and abilities. Our biggest population served is people with disabilities, ranging from cognitive to physical disabilities. And we just finished up our summer session, and we taught over 2,300 lessons this year in our equestrian program. So it's a very popular program, and we have a lot of fun with it.
If you find yourself in southeast Utah, take it from these riders. there's no better way to explore the hills and valleys of this amazing landscape than on horseback.
I can't say enough good about quarter horses. They're wonderful, they're brave, they'll do anything you ask them to do if you're good to them. They're just wonderful horses. They're tough, they're sturdy, and they'll treat you right if you treat them well.
Riders hang up their saddles with another enjoyable ride under their belts, part of the collective success of AQHA's ride program.
I think what they're doing here is bringing this to people who had no concept of what riding is all over. I'm an Easterner, basically, and I think that people all over the world want to come here.
This is a fabulous setting. There isn't a better place that we could go.
Well, you know, being involved with the AQHA is something that my wife and I have been involved with for almost 10 years now. We love hosting it, and I'm sure we'll host it again in the future.
AQHA's Ride 2002 program is in full swing. Here's a look at some upcoming rides. Log on to forahorse.com to find more information about horseback vacations. And for other information about American Quarter Horse activities in your area, call 1-800-414-RIDE or visit AQHA's website at aqha.com. Coming up next week, the competition heats up at the National Cutting Horse Association Eastern National Championships. We'll have the highlights from Jackson, Mississippi. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week.